the city a pope built to show off. What you see in the historic center of Pienza is something that had never been attempted before, the very first realization of Renaissance humanist ideas in urban design. Its layout influenced the way cities were built not only in Italy but around the world. Most cities grow and change gradually over many centuries. That did not happen in Pienza. In the 1400s, a pope decided to demolish and rebuild an entire village, partly to demonstrate a philosophy and, let's be honest, partly to impress his guests. Perched high above the Val d'Orcia, surrounded by rolling hills stretching to the horizon, this small Tuscan town looks exactly like the Tuscany travelers dream about. Cypress trees line narrow country roads. Sheep wander across the fields. Step outside the old city walls and you'll find peace and quiet. Step inside, and life comes alive. Pienza was once an ordinary medieval village called Corsignano. Everything changed when Pope Pius II decided to transform his hometown. He hired architect Bernardo Rossellino to redesign the town according to Renaissance ideals: symmetry, order, and harmony. The result feels almost too perfectly planned. The central square, Piazza Pio II, is surrounded by the cathedral, the papal palace, and the town hall. Everything is balanced. Everything belongs together. Beyond its beautiful design, Pienza is famous for pecorino cheese, made from sheep's milk and aged using traditional methods. Once a year, the entire town becomes a cheese arena during the Fiera del Casio festival. The main attraction? Casio al Fuso, a game in which participants roll a wheel of cheese toward a target. History, art, and dairy traditions come together in one unforgettable scene. Pienza is considered the world's first town designed according to a unified Renaissance master plan. Before that, cities generally developed in a much more chaotic and unplanned way. Pope Pius II even gave the town his own name. It had originally been called Corsignano, but after the transformation it became Pienza, literally meaning the city of Pius. The reconstruction took only about 3 years, from 1459 to 1462. An astonishingly short time for the 15th century. Pienza's cathedral has a unique feature: its architecture combines Italian Renaissance elements with Northern European Gothic influences that Pius II encountered during his travels. Because of unstable ground beneath the building, parts of the cathedral began sinking almost immediately after construction. Cracks in the walls can still be seen today. In 1996, the historic center of Pienza was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List as an outstanding example of Renaissance urban planning. The surrounding Val d'Orcia was also designated a World Heritage Site. Its landscapes are so iconic that they have become symbols of Tuscany and frequently appear in postcards, calendars, and films. Pienza is also home to the romantic Via dell'Amore, Street of Love, as well as Via del Bacio, Street of the Kiss, and Via della Fortuna, Street of Fortune. Pienza is more than just a beautiful town. It is one man's dream carved into stone. More than 560 years later, it still looks remarkably close to what the Pope originally envisioned. Interestingly, Pope Pius II created what could be considered one of the earliest examples of personal branding in history. He didn't just rebuild a town, he named it after himself, decorated it with his coat of arms, and turned it into a monument to his own vision. Many historians consider Pienza to be the world's first ideal city, a place where architects attempted to create the perfect environment for people to live in. If you look at Piazza Pio II from above, you'll notice that it has a trapezoidal shape. This design was used intentionally to make the surrounding buildings appear more grand and impressive. Despite its worldwide fame, Pienza is home to only about 2,000 residents. It is one of the smallest towns in the world to have such a significant influence on architecture. Some of the town's streets are so narrow that two people can barely pass each other shoulder to shoulder. On a clear day, you can see dozens of kilometers of rolling Tuscan hills from the walls of Pienza. The landscapes surrounding Pienza are considered among the most photographed in Italy. These are the very views often used in advertisements, films, and travel brochures when portraying the real Tuscany. Unlike many medieval towns, Pienza has changed very little over the past 5 centuries. Walking through its streets today feels much like stepping back into the world Pope Pius II saw in the 15th century. Many rulers built palaces. Some built fortresses. But Pope Pius II built an entire city, and centuries later, people from around the world still come to see his dream.